As you can see, I've got my espresso. Let's go ahead and get it started. Before we go any further, please be sure to comment, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. It does help out the algorithm, and we're currently on the path to 1,000 subscribers, so let's go ahead and keep that going. With all of that out of the way, let's get back to the video. Mornings these days have been pretty busy for me. I've pretty much been waking up every day at 5 a.m. and one thing that I have implemented into my morning routine has actually been running. Something I thought I would never really get into, so I'm gonna go ahead and drink this. Also, I've drank a good bit of water at this point in the morning. I'm gonna get hydrated and we're gonna go out on my morning run. I'll probably just be filming a little bit here and there on my phone and posting that in between this and the next clip. Alright, my morning run is now done. I've got my intro for my TikTok and YouTube shorts. Now it's time to eat. Right here we've got some strawberries, blueberries, Greek yogurt, and underneath of the Greek yogurt I do some oats with almond milk. Just one serving size, trying to get in those carbs after a nice hard run. And on the other plate, we've got some avocado, we've got kiwi, we've got some cheddar cheese, and 3 over easy eggs. Just to be clear, this is my biggest meal of the day by far. And the reason for that is because I just exerted a lot of energy, so I'm trying to restore some of the glycogen that I might have lost on that run. And I'm planning on working out later today, so I'm gonna have a lift and a run. I wanna make sure that I'm fueling up and getting in enough calories. As for the breakdown of what I'm eating, the oats and the fruit are really to replenish those carbs and kind of restore that glycogen like I mentioned before. Then we've got the avocado and the eggs for some healthy fats. As for the cheese, I do have the cheese on the plate for fats, but I've also got it on there to make sure that I'm getting in enough calcium. I've been watching this guy Sills on YouTube Shorts, and he does a good job breaking down like what people need for things like their RDI, for their vitamins and nutrients and things like that. So anyways, he recommends eating cheese, so I've got cheese, I've got kiwi, and it's something that I've been doing for a couple of weeks now if you followed my YouTube shorts. Just trying to keep everything whole foods and trying to minimize the amount of processed foods that I'm eating. With that said, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it used to be. This isn't like an anabolic channel by any means, the anabolic diet, so we're trying to make sure that we're eating a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, and getting in the biggest meal of the day first thing. When it comes to the macro split, I'm just trying to get in a lot of carbs and a lot of protein to recover from the run. I also started making these little coffees. I found some cold foam thing that you just basically squirt. It looks like whipped cream, and you put it on top of your coffee. It flavors it a little bit, and I do that after my run as a treat to myself. Kind of a motivating factor. It's a little bit petty, but it works for me, so that's what I've been doing. It only adds like 15 to 25 calories, but it's just nice to have something to look forward to. As far as calories and macros go for this meal, we are looking at 827 total calories, 50 grams of protein, 77 grams of carbs, and 39 grams of fat. You'll also notice that I have 16 grams of fiber on here. This is from all of the fruits, vegetables, things like that. I don't really need a fiber supplement at this point because I'm consuming so much. Now yesterday was one of those days where I was kind of just like out and about, and I kind of skewed my diet. It wasn't the best full day of eating, but it was sufficient enough. With the exception of that day though, I think every single day I've pretty much been able to hit my fiber goal, which is about 40 grams, just by eating food. So I don't need the supplement. Every now and then I'll take one just to kind of, make sure that I'm regular. But besides that, I've been able to cut back a little bit on supplementation, with the exception of creatine and fish oil pills. And of course, if you want to learn more about that, you can go ahead in the box down below. I do have an affiliate link with Amazon to, promote those things. They're supplements that I use, so I have no issue promoting them, but only if you're interested. There's no discount or anything, so it might not really be worth it, but I gotta give it a shot. Anyways, I'm starving, so I'm gonna go ahead and eat this, but I will see you all in a little bit. Alright, as you can see, the breakfast has gone down, and I am finally working on my time management skills to make sure that I'm able to put videos out a little bit quicker and get things edited properly, so that way the videos are providing the most information possible, things like that. I tried to do this with last week's video as well, the meal prepping video, so just trying to make sure that, I'm not just giving you my full day of eating, we're not just going through a vlog style video, but also making sure that you're really getting some information that is of value, and hopefully you enjoy that. With that said, we don't have groceries right now, so we have to go ahead and pick up our grocery order. Once that's done, I'll have some proteins for a post-workout meal. Since I don't currently have post-workout meals together right now, I'm probably gonna have to wait until we get the grocery order and prep something for my post-workout. But today we are hitting deadlifts, so I'm pretty excited for that. This is a strength phase of the program, so what I've been doing here lately when it comes to strength phase programs, because I've been, implementing running into my daily routine, is just going heavy but using no, like just doing everything raw. There is no anything, right? I don't use a belt, I don't use straps, I'm not really using anything besides chalk. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and I'm excited because I feel like it's just something new and kind of changed my training to make it more exciting for me personally. Anyways, that's enough yapping. We're gonna go ahead and show the workout in 3, 2, It is finally time for meal number 2. My meal prep is done, my workout is complete. For this meal, we've got some chicken, some ground beef, as well as about 6 ounces of rice. And on the side, we've got some berries, we've got blueberries and strawberries, getting in those micronutrients, those healthy fibers, and just trying to eat something that's a little bit refreshing after a workout is always nice as well. This is obviously carb heavy, and there were some fats to cook with this, but there's not a ton of fats in the actual meal itself. It is one thing short of being perfect, and that would be an avocado, but our avocados are not ready right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and push that off to later on today. But one thing that is perfect, especially after a workout, is a strawberry lemon poppy. It's a full day of eating, so I'm gonna have one. Lately, I've been really just trying to move away from protein shakes after a workout. I still love protein shakes. I have no problem with whey protein powders at all. However, I do think that, just eating whole foods makes me feel better and fuller for a longer period of time. For me, protein shakes have become a thing of convenience. If I'm running out of time or I need a quick hit of protein because we're gonna be eating out a little bit later on in the day, maybe I'll have a protein shake, but I've been trying to use them a little bit more sparingly here the past couple of weeks. But again, I'm not opposed to protein shakes. Anyways, for this meal, we're looking at 494 total calories, 41 coming from protein, 66 coming from carbohydrates, and about 9 coming from fats, most of which is probably gonna come from the ground beef, maybe a little bit of the chicken, but not so much. For me, this is a nice, well-rounded post-workout meal. It's gonna get me full after, working out, restore some glycogen, give me some protein to feel a little bit full for the next couple of hours. And I'm pretty excited for it because if I'm being honest, I haven't eaten in about 4 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but I'll see you all here in just a minute. All right, I haven't really been up to much, to be honest, since I last spoke to you, but I did end up going to the pool, hanging out for a bit. We went to Sprouts, got a couple of miscellaneous things, but nothing really crazy or worth documenting. So anyways, we came back and I made meal number 3. For meal number 3, we've got these little chicken tenders, these grilled chicken tenders, as well as some watermelon and pineapple. This is kind of similar to like a Chick-fil-A type meal. It's really simple. It's basically just olive oil, just a little spray of olive oil, some paprika, some garlic powder, as well as salt and pepper. Then you go ahead, mix that around, put it on the stove top, let it cook, and there you have it. It's really that simple. And you want to make sure that you're cooking it with all the chicken spread out so that way it cooks to a nice brown color. As far as the pineapple and watermelon go, I'm just going to be honest, I love pineapple and I do love watermelon as well, but we also got a killer deal at the grocery store. It was like buy 2 get 1 free, so we bought 2 and we got 1 free. I'll also be honest here as well, I did kind of just make this meal to make up for some of the protein that I'm lacking. I'm not doing terrible today, but every now and then I'll just have meals like this as a post-workout where it's a fruit as well as some chicken just to kind of get carbs and protein in. Anyways, let's go ahead and break down the calories and macros. We are looking at 333 total calories, and from a macro perspective, we're looking at 41 grams of protein, 40 grams of carbs, and 2 grams of fat. Now, obviously, I didn't end up accounting for like the olive oil because it's difficult to account whenever you're using one of those sprayers. Also, another link down in the bio if you're interested. But that's one of those things that is difficult to account for, and it's really not a lot of calories when it's all said and done. And since I am, again, running and lifting weights, today I'm okay with having a little bit higher of a calorie day if you include those oils in. However, all of that said, this is a really solid meal. It tastes good, and in my opinion, it's better than Chick-fil-A. I'll just say it. The chicken's not as rubbery, it feels like real chicken, and I like the way it's seasoned better here than if you were to get it from Chick-fil-A personally. Plus, the fruit selection is way better. Anyways, that's enough yapping. I'm gonna go ahead and eat this, but I will see you all at meal number 4. All right, meal number 4 is coming at you. This is such a delicious looking meal. What we've got is some chicken with some buffalo sauce, as well as some pickles, some broccoli. I have these potato wedges that were made in the air fryer with some cheese sprinkled on top, and it looks super good. I don't really know if there's actual benefits to pickles or not, but they are super low calories, so it does allow you to eat a large quantity or just throw them on like burgers, salads, whatever you want. At essentially no calories, I mean, it might be upwards of like 5 to 10 calories, but that's about it. One thing that I have noticed while examining my full day of eating here, just mostly because of this video, is that I'm lacking in vitamin A. I don't see it coming up on my MyFitnessPal, but I believe broccoli does have some vitamin A, so that should be a source of vitamin A that's not being accounted for here when you're looking at my micronutrients. So I'm gonna chalk that up to MyFitnessPal, but usually I would end up supplementing that, or not really supplementing, but getting my vitamin A through like sweet potatoes or spinach. So just a heads up for those of you interested from a micronutrient standpoint, that hasn't gone under the table. It's just we didn't have sweet potatoes this morning or any spinach, so again, I didn't make the vegetables that I would usually make in the morning for my breakfast. With that said, let's go ahead and look at our calories and our macros. For our calories, we're looking at 369, and for our macros, we're looking at 37 grams of protein, 36 grams of carbs, and 9 grams of fat. If you ask me, those are like immaculate breakouts for your macros, especially with something that's low calorie. 36 grams of protein, or really anything over 30 grams of protein at 300 calories is spot on. It's perfect. Anyways, I'm gonna eat this meal. Very excited about it. It looks good, smells good, and it's gonna taste great. I'm gonna do that, but I'll see you all at meal number 5. All right, for my 5th and final meal of the day, we've got some watermelon as well as banana, chocolate chips, and a little bit of PB2, just 1 serving to have on the side, something to kind of dip the fruit in. Admittedly, I did kind of just throw this meal together. It seems like a good idea, and I figured the chocolate chips would add a nice little crunch to the overall meal. However, the banana was a little bit bigger than I was expecting. It made me feel a little bit insecure, if I'm being honest. And it turned out to be a little bit more calories than I was expecting because of the fruit, but no problems there. It'll be satiating, there's a lot of volume, and overall, I think it'll taste good. Plus, this should allow me to essentially hit my potassium goal and close that out for the day. With that said, let's go ahead and look at our calories and macros. For our calories and macros, we are looking at 324 total calories, as well as 11 grams of protein from PB Fit, 66 grams of carbs, and about 7 grams of fat. We also got an 8 grams of fiber, which isn't bad. So for the day, our total calories will be 2347, 180 coming from protein, 285 coming from carbs, 67 grams of fat, and just as a bonus, I hit 39 grams of fiber without taking any kind of supplementation. Overall, I'm pretty happy with those calories and macros. I gotta be honest, I'm still technically cutting, but because I've been running a lot and my cardio has been up, I've got almost 15,000 steps for the day, lifting, all of that good stuff. I'm way more active today than maybe a day where I'm not lifting, so hitting almost 2,400 calories is perfectly fine given my current goal. Slowly but surely cutting and kind of just staying in that 250 to 500 calorie deficit. And overall, I think I hit most of my micronutrients with the exception of vitamin A, like I said before. So I do have some gaps to fill. This diet wasn't perfect, but it was pretty solid all around. And I have to say that I'm loving the way that this diet is making me feel. Of course, I will have my recipes thrown in from some, those anabolic type recipes, but for the most part, most of my meals will come from whole foods just like this. And, every now and then I'll go out to eat, make a cheat meal, quote unquote, things like that. But for the most part, this is what my full days of eating have looked like for the past couple of weeks. Anyways, if you made it this far in the video, know that I appreciate you. Not everybody makes it this far, so you're in the top 1%. And we'll probably call it here for the rest of the day. I do have a massive video coming out next week. Let me know what you think that's going to be down in the comments below. It's going to be a good one, a challenge video. I will give you all a hint. It's going to be a 30-day challenge, so keep that in mind. With that said, that's going to be it for today's video. Until next time, keep it together.